he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
But it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
Hey guys, it's Franky. Welcome to the Think Tank. So I'm going to talk about someone we haven't discussed yet, and I haven't really seen a lot of content creators doing this yet. It's the arrest of Nicholas James Kassotis. He's the ex-naval officer from Georgia that was charged with his wife's unaliving and I don't know, how do you put that? Taking apart. Good God. Some of these you just like, what? How do you discuss this? Good Lord. So let's take a peek here. We want to look at what first? Got a little bit here. It's just a matter of what we want to go through. So we'll take a look at this first. This is May 12th of this year, so 10 days ago. So it's saying, up-to-date original news release, identified woman's remains found in Riceboro. So this is May 12, 2023. Nicholas James Kassotis, a.k.a. Nicholas Killian James Stark. Always a concern when you've got those kind of things going on. Different names in a large way. So 40 years old. He was arrested on Friday, May 12th in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. What is it about these men from Pennsylvania? He was arrested in connection with the passing of his wife, Mindi Kassotis. So her remains were found at a hunting club that covered the areas of Liberty, McIntosh counties on December 2nd, 2022. She was 40 years old at the time she was found. They were living in Savannah at the time of Mindy's death. So GBI agents to this investigation sought the FBI's assistance with genealogy DNA. You know what? We're getting more and more of this, and I think it's wonderful. I actually opened up my own today. I got back into my own ancestry so I can go over some of these cases and try and figure out where the hell some of these actions come from. So GBI agents assigned to the investigation sought the FBI. So the FBI used a lab specializing in advanced testing and receiving results that furthered the investigation. The GBI interviewed family members and obtained DNA swabs for comparison to the profile created through genealogy DNA. Mindi Kassotis was identified on May 11th. 2023. Now, the speed with this is amazing. It's a lot better than it was a few years ago. So Nicholas Kassotis is being charged with malice unaliving, felony unaliving, aggravated that, and tampering with evidence and removal of parts from the scene of a death or this, right? He's being held at the Lancaster County Prison, awaiting extradition to Georgia. The GBI would like to thank the FBI Atlanta and FBI Baltimore, both for their assistance in identifying the victim. The FBI Lancaster, PA, and the U.S. Marshals Service, East Pennsylvania Fugitive Task Force, Lancaster Office, Lancaster Police Department, Pennsylvania State Police, and the Liberty County Sheriff Office for their assistance in this arrest. Wow, they were after this guy. GBI forensic artist Kelly Lawson composed a sketch, and that is what I've got on the introduction. So, the focus of the investigative genetic genealogy is on the construction of family trees for the persons identified as possible family members to the victim or suspect by combing through profiles, public and government records. FBI personnel then compare the persons identified in the family trees to the location and timing of the crime itself to identify a likely suspect. Lastly, the FBI seeks a comparison between the victim's DNA and DNA from a parent of the victim to verify the identity. DNA has made a massive difference when it comes to crime. So this was the original from January 5th, 2023. The GBI and the Liberty County Sheriff's Office are continuing to seek the public's help in identifying a woman who was found, an updated forensic artist rendering of the woman is attached, and initially, partial remains of a white female were discovered off Jones Road in the woods of the Portal Hunting Club in Riceboro. Liberty County GA, additional remains discovered within a 3-mile radius of the hunting club property in Liberty County. So this little asshole was just driving around chucking things out a window by the sounds of things. The remains of a white female with brown eyes, shoulder-length brown hair, approximately 5'9" to 5'10" in height, and approximately 185 to 200 pounds, with an age range between 20 and 50 years old. The body had no scars, marks, or tattoos. There is a single tooth implant on the upper right jaw. Clothing found near. What are you doing? What have you got all over you? Let's see here. There is a single tooth implant in the upper right jaw, and clothing found near the remains is described as dark blue, long sleeve, Marona brand shirt, size medium, white camisole top, size large, light gray boy shorts with white stripe down the size large, and a white Amazon Essentials underwear, size large. So any information regarding a person matching this description is asked to contact the GBI. So that is the office in Statesboro, and we will just give it out. I mean, if there's anybody with any information at all, this would be the number to call. So 912-871-1121. And let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. So ex-Navy officer charged with the death of wife who was found in Georgia woods. Nicholas James Kassotis was arrested Friday in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a day after remains found in Georgia were identified as those of his wife, Mindi Kassotis. So a formal naval officer, isn't that impressive? A formal naval officer. Mind you, we had a bigwig in the Canadian military flying like the Queen and what around, and we all know what he turned into. So a formal naval officer has been arrested in Pennsylvania and charged with the grisly unaliving of his writer wife, whose remains were found scattered in the Georgia woods. Nicholas James Kassotis, 40, was arrested Friday on felony unaliving, assault, and other charges in the death of Mindi Kassotis. I've been looking for this paperwork, so it looks like it's out there somewhere. I just haven't found it. So, assault and other charges in the death, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations has said. He was arrested one day after she was officially identified using DNA technology. Her remains were found in December throughout that 3-mile radius of a hunting club. Good God. And they are also saying that, of course, the GBI had help from the FBI, who did the genealogy testing. So he also, as we were seeing, goes by Nicholas Killian James Stark. So it might even be his legal name if that's what he was arrested in Lancaster with. So when this came out a few days ago. So he is probably in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in Georgia, or on his way. So he's further charged with malice unaliving, tampering with evidence, removal of body parts from a scene, or death and this stuff. So GBI previously said testing determined that the remains were placed there or on or around November 27th. For months, Mindi Kassotis' identity was a mystery, and police released a composite sketch in hopes of identifying her, which took about 6 months. So this is it here. A woman found it. A woman who was found that at a Liberty County hunting club has been identified. Her husband has been charged with her arrest and her unaliving. What do you think? Do you think they get pretty close with these, or do you think it's like a shot off? What do you think? So they have not disclosed a possible motive, and no documents have been filed yet. So that's probably the case. But I am going to look again, because this was done a few days back. So it's saying that she was living in Savannah, 40 years old, and living with her husband. And it says, according to the couple's wedding announcement in the Keene Sentinel, they were married in Virginia. The wedding announcement described her as a writer and business owner, and him as a former judge advocate in the Navy. What the hell? Navy's Judge Advocate General Corps. So that sounds like he wasn't. That sounds like he might have had like a fairly good, would you call it a job? I don't know. It sounds like he has some ranking. So it says here that he is scheduled to appear in Lancaster County for court. Let's see here. I'm not sure if that's already done yet. We'll have to take a peek. Okay, let's see here. So May 14th, and we're on the 22nd. There was not a whole lot for me to grab on this, sadly. It's not as well publicized as I think it should be. So it's talking about him being arrested and finding her. I have not figured out what the heck this is, so I'm just going to play it and see if we actually get Let's see here.
Has now been charged with her husband's murder after writing a children's book on grief. Joining us now is attorney.
Okay, I'll just take that out because that's actually a totally different case that is equally as messed up. So we'll just leave that for now. Yeah. Oh my God, she's cookie crazy. So I'll take another look here. Let's look at this one. Yeah, I was looking at that case there a little earlier and I thought, oh, we'll do this one first and maybe I'll touch on the other one later. Lots of people are actually talking about it, so I wanted to work on Mindy's case. So a former Navy officer has been accused of unaliving his wife 5 months after doing that to her body and found near a hunting lodge in Georgia. So she'd been gone for 5 months. The remains of 40-year-old writer Mindi Kassotis, I think, were discovered by hunters at the Portal Hunting Club in Riceboro this past December. Believed to have been placed at the scene a month or so before the discovery. Okay, so I have to find out here how long she's been missing, because, like, what the hell, did he keep her around? Let me know what you guys think. I might be a little confused here. Kassotis' husband, Nicholas, 40, was arrested May 12th. Okay. In connection with her unaliving in Pennsylvania, the GBI said in a statement he remains in custody in the Lancaster County Prison awaiting extradition to Georgia. Mr. Kassotis, an ex-Navy judge advocate, what the living hell, General's Corps, or he's a JAG officer, faces charges of, as we know, the unaliving, aggravated that, tampering with evidence, removal of parts from a scene. They were married for 6 years. So it says that her body was found on December 2nd in a wooded area off Jones Road. More parts were discovered within that 3-mile radius. Her remains were identified on Thursday after her family provided samples that were sent to the FBI lab. According to their 2016 wedding announcement, Kassotis was a Virginia Tech graduate, while her husband had pursued law at Northeastern University and Georgetown University, they told People. Authorities have yet to establish a motive, saying that she was a writer and business owner and who is fondly remembered. She touched so many lives, a former classmate of Kassotis wrote on Facebook. I hope she knew how many loved her and how many have missed her for so long. I also pray she didn't suffer. She was such a special person and true friend. So again, GBI office in Statesboro, if you know anything at all, 912-871-1121. And that is for the GBI, and the Liberty County Sheriff's Office is at 912-876-4555, and anonymous tips can be left there. Oh, my word. Okay. Let's take a peek over here. Beautiful evening. It's plus 14 Celsius. I'm liking it. So let's take a peek here. It's again talking about him being charged. Sit down. Sit down. Good girls. With the unaliving Okay, let's see what's going on here. I don't know if this is something for us or not. I've been not having the best luck, have I? No. Oh, I know part of it. Okay. I just want to see if there is anything else on here that we have not seen. I think. Okay, this is him. I'll knock that down a little bit, the sizing, so we can check him out. Creepy looking shit, isn't he? The couple were married at Morvern Park, Virginia in October of 2016. They're still talking about investigators have not yet disclosed a possible motive. So I imagine that's why some of this paperwork has not been out there. It's why we're not talking much about motive. Let's see here. He served as judge advocate. That's just a big freaking title in my mind. I could be wrong, but that sounds like a big title. His most recent assignment was in the Navy Reserve at a regional legal service office in the Naval District in Washington, D.C. Well, won't you look at that? At the separation date with the Navy, he reportedly attained the rank of lieutenant commander. Wow. No. She's giving me crap again here. So we'll take a look over here for a second. And this is GBI, GA. So this is on Twitter. And it's again saying that a man has been arrested and charged with the malice unaliving, tampering with evidence, and removal of parts. And his wife's remains were found on Liberty County back in December with FBI's assistant genealogy DNA to identify. So they're just basically going over some stuff that we do know. That is amazing. Tim Burke, FBI Atlanta, helped me at Monroe County. So to solve 34. Oh, wow. What do we got going here? Okay. We're good. We've gone through all of that together. So, friends, I do believe this is what I have for now. If you do have any information about Mindi, please call those numbers. If you know anything about her husband that you think needs to get out there, let's do that. And yeah, thanks for coming and clicking on me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.